Good day, welcome to another edition of Farm Advice section with Jonathan Stewart. I'm happy to have you back. I'm sorry that we have some break in, but we move, all right? So let's continue with our educational journey, making sure that we are working together to have the best in terms of establishing our farms, in terms of ensuring that we, are on par and making profit. So that is the goal. We also make profit together and see how agriculture can change our own, condition. All right. So having a big farm or a big business is an exciting thing. Everyone wants that, and everyone wants to have that. As something they dream of. All right. But this is it. All right. But growing too quickly as a farm or a farmer, come, with financial issues, to a management problem that you must be prepared to deal with. Yes. Many farms fail because people want to expand quickly. They want to grow quickly. They want to, cover 500 acres, 100 acres, 300 acres. They want to move from 10 acres quick to 50 acres. All right. But that is exactly, that is good. But if you do not prepare for it, if you do not plan for it well, then you get into a management problem, you get into a financial problem that probably can discourage you or cause you to fail. So today I want to share with you when to expand your farm or your agribusiness. All right. I hope that is good information that you want to get. All right. Stay with me. Let's continue together. So on this journey today, we want to identify how you can identify the right time to expand your business. How you can identify the right time, because there's always a right time to do something, especially in business. Business is a science. All right. You have to know that there are indications you are ready before you even take the first step of moving from maybe from this level of production to another level, or expanding your staff capacity or your farm size or your agribusiness size in terms of your production level. All right. You have to be very careful with this. A better time to expand your farm or your agribusiness is when your current farm is profitable and it is well managed and is ready for the next step. That's the time you should expand. You identify that your current farm is profitable or your current agribusiness is profitable. You identify that you have a strong management, control in terms of what you do and how it's happening. You are also, show that it is ready to take the next step. That is the time to expand. If you miss out on this, you take the wrong decision or take the wrong action, and definitely it will lead you to a path where you will find no way around in terms of what to do, or maybe finding yourself out of it. All right. So it's always good. So I always tell people, in fact, agribusiness experts will tell you start small. That is always, they will tell you, if you have an interest, if you're aspiring to go into farming or agribusiness, they will tell you start small, learn everything, including market and production, the challenges, the issues, because in every setting, in every country, there is a unique, challenge, or there are unique challenges that people are dealing with. You have to understand that before you even make a move to invest in more. If not, you are a failure already. Yes, I'm sorry to say that. So here are what you need to know, in terms of when to expand your farm. So the first thing you need to know is that before you even think about expanding, you should make sure that you are making consistent profit. Yes, let me explain it in detail. Now, making consistent profit means that always, every season, every year, and every time you are into production or you are producing, you are making profit. With that consistency, it tells you that you are in a position to take some step in terms of expansion. But if you made profit last year and this year you don't make profit, next year it's the same, you don't make profit, or you make profit today, tomorrow you don't make profit, then you cannot say clearly that you are ready to expand. Before you expand, ask yourself these questions. Is my farm making profit every season? That's question number one you need to ask yourself before you expand. All right? Because we're talking about profit here. It is profit that you need to use to invest. It is profit that will give you the indicator that your farm is ready to expand. You also need to ask yourself this question. Do I have every saving or the capital to do this? If you want to expand, do you have the capital? Do you have a place to take money from that will be flexible enough to give you a chance to invest and get it back over time? That question is the one that should guide your decisions about expansion. Yes. If not, you are getting into trouble. Now, another question is you need to ask yourself, is my business able to take care of larger operation? Yes. And operation is key. Operation is about spending money every day. Making sure you have things under control, everything you need, for logistics, for transportation, for staff and welfare, for import tools, chemical, for those who are processing, for packaging materials and other things, and even marketing a produce or product. You have to make sure you have the capital before you take about expanding, or you know where to get it from at a flexible level that will allow you to invest and get it back over time. If not, please go break. Yes. So the other thing I want to tell you is that do not expand based upon hope. Yes. And this is important. You don't need to think you need to expand thinking that tomorrow it will get better, you're hoping that things will work out, you're hoping that people will come, no, you don't hope. You need to base your decision on results. Get result of proven result. What has worked before? You need to, and this is where record keeping is critical. You have to look at your record to know that your income, your sales, has been to a satisfactory level that can inform you as to what decisions to take to expand. All right, because you are making the decision based upon records, data, and it's not hoping that it will work, praying that it will work. No. In business, which is a science, you have to pay some key attention to certain critical things. So with this, you need to expand when you have reliable market. Now, when people hear reliable market, they feel that it's just about, lucky ticket buying. No, it means you are actually honest to a group of people who need, your product and are ready and willing to buy it, and they have always been buying it over time, so that they show to you that indeed every time they need it. That reliable market, wherever it is, you have to understand it, and you gotta make sure you have it already. You cannot be struggling for buyers and then you want to expand. It's the wrong thing. It's a suicide. Yes, it is the wrong thing to do. It is a suicide. You cannot be struggling for buyers, for markets, and then you want to expand. So who is going to buy? Is it your family that will consume it? No. If you're looking for money and you want to make profit, you got to be sure of a reliable market before you make a decision to expand. And yes, and let me tell you, growth in agriculture is not just about, having more products on your shelf. It is driven by demand. So if you want to grow your business or your farm, it should be by demand. So if you're growing pepper and you know that there's more demand for pepper from you, the kind of pepper you're growing and the location you're growing it in, if there's more demand, then you say, let me increase it to 10 acres, 10.5, 5 acres. But if you have 5 acres and you harvesting and you take weeks to find buyers, good buyers, the buyers who will give you fair market price, then you need to wait small and see that you have a reliable market. Yes. And you need to understand this. You must have more people willing and ready to buy from you before you think about expansion. Whether expansion in terms of staff, expansion in terms of size of your business or your farm, you have to make sure you have people who are willing and ready to buy. So before you increase your production, here are things you need to do. You need to firstly increase your buyers. The people who are buying from you, if 10 people buying from you, make sure you work hard, do all the things that you need to do. All right, to increase that number from 10 to either 20, 30 before you're thinking about expansion or expanding your production or whatever you're doing. All right, that's the first thing. And you gotta be confident that you have the capacity and you are able to serve the extra produce that you'll be, produce or livestock that will come from your expansion. Be confident of that. If you are not sure, don't take the step. Because if you put all of your input in the process, and probably you cannot, get it back because you don't have the buyers, then you're in trouble. And I want you to know this, all right? Producing more without having the market demand is going to lead you to waste and financial losses. Please do not attempt that. Yes. Before you make a step to expand, you need to expand when you have the right team and the right system. And this is very important. The other day I did a video on, building a strong farm team and managing team, and dealing with conflicts and all those kind of things, because these are very critical things. The social part of what we do in terms of business and farming is very important. You need to pay keen attention to that, because if you don't have the right team of people who have the who understand the vision you have for your farm or for your business, who are willing and ready to work, and who are available and who are accessible, and who are committed to the process, you cannot expand, because definitely the team is just a major pillar that the business or the farm depend on to give you the result you want. All right. So no matter what you have on the farm in terms of the quality of input, seeds, fertilizer, if you don't have the right team, you are going to fail, because the team is the one that's supposed to work. And farming or business is about processes that people should be part of, should be able to lead, should be able to participate in, and give you the result of bountiful harvest. If not, that is an issue. I'm sorry, but that is an issue. Yes. So the team also is about having the right people. So if you have people who don't have the skill, they don't have the capacity, they don't have the knowledge, how can they be people that you will use to expand? That is impossible. So you should be sure that you have the right team that has the expertise or skills or the experience, and you have the system in place that will control people and make people to work the time they're supposed to work. If you do not have a system and the right people, do not make an attempt to expand. You first need to work on the people and the system. Yes, and I want you to know this, all right? A larger farm or agribusiness require, more skilled workers. I mean, people who know what to do and how to do it. Most time, people who know the science of farming. All right. It also requires good record keeping, because you need to have information available. You need to have records on everything you do to know whether you are making profit or not. All right. And then expansion also comes with strong financial management system. You got to be strong with that. You got to be in charge of the numbers, the money coming in, the money going in. You got to be in charge, and you have to have control over that, because a big business or a big farm comes with too much complex investment issues, financial issues, operational issues that you have to prepare for. So you have to know that financial management is key when you want to expand or when you are expanding. And I want you to know this, all right? If your current farm if you have a farm currently, and it is difficult to manage, expanding will just be increasing of the challenges that you are already facing. So if you have 5 acres and you're having serious issues in terms of managing making it to work, getting the buyers, all right? What will happen if you take it to 15 acres or 20 acres? You're just going to increase the challenges. So you should be prepared for it mentally and financially and physically. You have to be prepared for it, because definitely they are going to multiply, and you need to have the mental strength to deal with it, because if not, you are going to regret that. I encourage you that you need to grow your farm step by step. Do not rush it, because it is nothing to rush with. Farming is an investment you don't rush with. It's not a quick rush thing, all right? Because if you do, definitely you will not get a result that you need or that's supposed to come out of that effort. It is better to manage a small profitable farm or agribusiness than a large farm that you have to struggle with every day. Yes. And you have to struggle to get buyers. You have to struggle to get the work done. You have to struggle to get money to support the operations. It is better not to go into something bigger that will make you struggle, or you could manage a small, profitable, farm or agribusiness that will give you result and probably reduce your stress in terms of what you need to do. All right? Know when to expand. With all of what I just said, if it is useful to you, share this video, follow, and comment, and make sure that we have more people getting these kind of insights and information. This is important. This one, you may not just get it anywhere. Only Jay the Farm Advisor can advise you like this. Have a good day.